Krystal, what are you taking a look at?
Well, guys, I'm tracking a revealing new move from a potential Trump 2024 rival, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. Here are the details. Virginia was apparently in the running to be the new location for a Ford electric battery plant. Needless to say, governors go to great lengths in order to attract these types of jobs into their own states. But here, Governor Youngkin has gone in the total opposite direction in what at first blush might seem a surprising move. Here's the Washington Post, quote, Governor Glenn Youngkin said this week that he had rejected efforts by Ford Motor Company to consider locating an electric battery plant in Virginia over concerns that the automaker's partnership with China created a security risk. Quote, we felt that the right thing to do was to not recruit Ford as a front for China to America, Youngkin said Wednesday night to reporters after delivering his State of the Commonwealth speech to the General Assembly. So basically, here's the backstory. Ford has been ramping up EV production to meet new demand and has a new financial incentive to do so with the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. One of their partners in battery production is China-based Contemporary Amperex Technology, or CATL. Now, in order to obtain the Inflation Reduction Act credits, though, Ford is working on a structure that will put their name on the plant and retain 100% ownership of the building and equipment, but CATL would run the plant and they would own the tech. Now, listen, as I just discussed with Sagar, I'm actually sympathetic to some of the national security concerns around China and key tech, especially with regards to TikTok. But this one seems like a bit of a stretch. With TikTok, there are clear issues around the Chinese government spying on American citizens. In this instance with Ford, it's a bit harder to see what the real national security risk actually is. First of all, this plant's going to be built either way, whether it's in Michigan or in Virginia. Second of all, this company, CATL, clearly already knows how to make electric batteries, so it's not like they'd be really gaining any sort of groundbreaking technical expertise that China doesn't already possess and, frankly, isn't ahead of the game on us vis-a-vis our own competence. When pressed on these questions, Youngkin's chief legal counsel offered a word salad answer that the battery plant involved, quote, national security risk type technology, and he stopped that. Real persuasive there, buddy. The truth is, the decision to block this factory, which could have provided up to 2,500 good jobs in Southside Virginia, a distressed part of the state, where people are desperate for solid middle income jobs, makes little sense from a national security perspective. And it makes absolutely no sense at all if you're concerned with your political future in the state of Virginia. These types of high-profile job-creating deals are what gubernatorial approval ratings are made of. But it makes a lot of sense if Youngkin is angling to run for president in a party that is extremely hawkish towards China right now, especially since Youngkin himself already has a lot of vulnerabilities when it comes to his own business dealings with the nation of China. Now, when you couple that with the fact that the factory would be associated with a Biden-passed deal, the Inflation Reduction Act, you can see why politically Youngkin decided to throw the possibility of 2,500 good jobs out the window in order to posture politically. Now, there's another factor here that's relevant as well, which is that Youngkin sees China as a key political vulnerability given his own business record. Remember, Youngkin became an extremely wealthy man from his time running private equity firm, the Carlyle Group. And like all good private equity ghouls, he became fabulously wealthy by shipping a lot of American jobs overseas. One particularly noteworthy deal from 2016 included buying a controlling stake in the Chinese outsourcing business VXI Global Solutions Business LLC and proceeding to ship thousands of American jobs to foreign shores. This record obviously opens him up to a devastating attack of the sort that the Obama team used to destroy Mitt Romney. But it didn't come up much in his run for governor of Virginia. Why? Well, because his Democratic opponent, Clinton sycophant Terry McAuliffe, was an investor with Carlyle Group himself. But Trump, he's already hinted that he will have no problem attacking Youngkin over his China ties in what seemed like a bizarre, out-of-nowhere attack. Trump wrote recently on Truth Social that Youngkin's name, quote, sounds Chinese, an attack that makes a lot more sense once you know these key pieces about Youngkin's record at Carlyle. Here is that truth from Trump. He said, quote, Youngkin, now that's an interesting take, sounds Chinese, doesn't it? In Virginia, couldn't have won without me. I endorsed him, did a very big Trump rally for him telephonically, got MAGA to vote for him, or he couldn't have come close to winning. But he knows that and admits it, besides having a hard time with the Dems in Virginia, but he'll get it done. Classic Trump. So basically, Youngkin's move to block this plant really has nothing to do with his concern for national security and everything to do with his concern for his own political career. In fact, In a telling moment, Youngkin even tried to spin his time at Carlyle working with China to outsource American jobs as a positive. He told reporters, quote, "I think I'm uniquely positioned to understand how the Chinese Communist Party works because I dealt with it and I understand what they're doing." I doubt, though, that Trump is going to let him wriggle out of his record as easily as McAuliffe and the Democrats ultimately did. Now, one last thing to note here is how the decision to block a high-profile job-creating factory reflects the triumph of vibes and aesthetics in politics over any sort of substance and reality. In a sane political world, the judgment of voters in the state you're running would be a thing that matters for national political ambitions. And there is just no doubt that as far as local Virginia voters in rural Virginia are concerned, Youngkin's decision is a terrible move. In fact, right now over in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear, who happens to be a Democrat in a very red state, has earned one of the highest gubernatorial approval ratings in the entire country off of attracting Ford battery plants to the bluegrass state. Beshear is literally right now the most popular Democratic governor in the whole country. Again, in spite of the fact that Kentucky shifted hard red in recent years. That is how powerful this type of job creation can be. He actually, Beshear, has the approval of nearly half of all self-identified Republicans in the state of Kentucky. But Andy Beshear is trying to get reelected governor, while Glenn Youngkin wants to get elected president. And so instead of delivering for home state voters, Youngkin is delivering for the shallow commentary of Fox News pundits who won't get past a simplistic China bad talking point. Is it going to work? Well, his reincarnation as a China hawk after selling the American people out for fun and profit for years, will that sell in a Republican presidential primary? Remember that Youngkin basically had the field cleared for him in the Virginia GOP primary, and he was able to walk a careful line on what exactly he thought about Trump and any number of other issues. I don't think this man has any clue what awaits him when he actually has to go toe-to-toe with Trump and the other Republican would-be contenders here. But hey, you never know. Seems pretty clear, though, he intends to try. So that's a big takeaway, digging into this thing. And there was reporting this morning about exactly. Hey, guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now. And Sagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us. And if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.